one. This isn't clickbait, guys. The S650 is really gone. It got picked up this morning. Let's talk about it. Why did we sell the S650? Truth be told, guys, I'm not bought and paid for by any brand or manufacturer, but the S650 just didn't have it. It's been no secret that the S650 has been highly controversial. Ford came out and claimed this all new body style, all new Mustang. And what did they give us? They gave us an S550 and a half that cost $5,000 to $10,000 more starting price, like for like, base GT versus base GT, base EcoBoost versus base EcoBoost. And what did we get for it? We got touchscreens on the dash. We got a different bumper, different tail. That's about it, honestly. I bought the car because I had hope that Ford would do something with it, and no. It's been honestly embarrassing what has happened to the Mustang. It's tragic. Not gonna lie, the Mustang has gotten so far away from its roots. It's become more of chasing tech and performance second, whereas the Mustang has always been a performance bargain, chasing performance first. And yeah, some things were a little bit substandard, but if the car was customizable, tunable, and the aftermarket support was out there, people more or less looked past those downfalls because they wanted it as an enthusiast, not as a fan. A driving and performance enthusiast doesn't care about the touchscreens on the dash. They don't care about the technology in the car. They want a car that performs. They want a car that can be customized to their liking. And the S650 has dropped the ball in every category. I was talking to one of the Mustang experts at Sebring International Raceway at the Ford Corral, and they had an S650 on its side. And I was like, this is all new, correct? And he was like, yeah, it's the all new S650. You know, so much has been changed on the car. And I literally went up to 3 places on the car and showed him where it says S550 on it. Like, come on. And it was major powertrain components, not little trim pieces, but major powertrain components. So just really unfortunate. Everything has been resorted to, if you really want to customize it and go after power, it's Whipple or Roush. And thank God I went with the Roush. Just everything has been such, throw a Whipple on it. Just couldn't do it after driving it. Nope. Driving the Roush made me smile. It was the one thing that kept me holding on to that car for as long as I did. Otherwise, that thing would have been gone a long time ago. We've had it since December 2023. Immediately took it to the drag strip, and it ran 12s. We did some things with the car. We didn't modify it as heavily as we wanted to because honestly, it was just very disappointing. The limited amount of aftermarket support was very disappointing. This tuning thing's got to change. It's killing the Mustang. If the car was tunable, change nothing else other than making it tunable, the sales numbers, they would rebound. I promise that would happen, because just look at like BMW M2s. They're $20,000 more than a base GT, but BMW M sales are through the roof right now because you can buy them, get into them today, and tune them and change them. Mustang, what are you doing? Global B, Chevy is crushing you. Ford, what are you doing? You're getting into Formula One, which I'm not like a huge fan of, but I follow. And honestly, for what? You're partnering up with Red Bull. You're clinging onto the coattails of what Red Bull has already done. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's just not what it is. So again, we've had the car for a year and a half. I put almost 10,000 miles on it. 6,000 of those were supercharged with the Roush. But other than like the 350, it makes me smile every time I drive it, whether I'm driving it hard or not. Really, the S650 only made me smile when I was foot to the floor with the Roush in it. Other than that, I almost want to say too comfortable, too luxury focused. Like, Ford, get away from that. You got to separate. We're not trying to sell I know there's sales numbers to meet, but you're driving away the enthusiasts, the people that made the Mustang brand what it was. You're trying to sell to fans of the Mustang and make fans of the Mustang. Well, enthusiasts are what drive the Mustang and what drive the aftermarket of the Mustang, and you are losing all of us. There's a reason why I still have this GT350, and I'd rather sell a working 800 horsepower S650 versus a broken GT350. I would rather have a lawn ornament than a running S650 2024 car. It's as simple as that. I missed the S2000, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I traded that car in to get the S650 and give this a go, and I regret it to this day. My son misses it to this day. I know they're two very different cars, but when a car with only 240 horsepower, when you're missing that over a 500 horsepower GT, 800 horsepower supercharged GT, it just tells you the driving, but the behind the wheel experience, absolutely gone. Can't believe the Roush. Honestly, it's because of the Roush I held onto the car this long. If it wasn't for the Roush, if it would have had a Whipple on it, the thing would have been gone 6 months ago. Let's just be honest here. Also, I need to sell the car because we have 11 months until our GTD allocation is potentially up. So there's that also in the works. I'm not saying that's what I'm going to get next, because honestly, the more I see the GTD, it's not what I want it to be. The interior, way too similar, not special enough, not unique enough compared to your regular Mustang. It's pretty much an exact copy of a premium GT, just with GTD stitched in the headrest, the rear seat delete with the cutout so you can see the suspension, which I get, that's cool, but that car is supposed to be the Halo Mustang, the most track-focused Mustang. This thing should have carbon bucket seats. It should really have a center tablet delete. I could live with a smaller screen in the front, get rid of this big ass screen right in the middle of where I'm trying to look through for an apex. Like, what are you doing, Ford? It's a total money grab, and unfortunately there's just, by volume, there's plenty of people out there that can afford it. So the car is gonna sell. I'm telling you guys, something's got to change, because not only is the Mustang gonna go away, but Ford Performance, it's disappointing. The best S650 right now is actually the GT4 race car. The street S650s, nothing but disappointments. Trackside comparison, I got taken around in a Dark Horse handling pack around Sebring with a Mustang GT3 pro race car driver, and it took that to kind of get me to smile behind the wheel of or in the passenger seat of the damn thing. When I went around in a GT350 as a passenger around Sebring, or in a GT3 RS, tears of joy, literal tears of joy. The experience, the thrills and violentness of some of these cars, that's where it's at. And honestly, it needed something more special. Both the GTD and the Dark Horse, to have a recycled engine that you can just get out of another car, being the 500, it's the same powertrain or the same engine that you're getting in the GTD, just tuned up a little bit, and the Dark Horse just getting another Coyote. Like, come on, like, you're gonna launch an all-new car, 2 all-new cars, and not a single one of them is gonna get a unique engine? Come on. So honestly, the next car that we're probably gonna get is probably not gonna be a Ford. And if you look at this driver right now, Ford Fusion, Ford F-250, GT350, it's definitely looking that way, guys, because right now it's just not it. What did we do to the car other than the Roush? We put some wheels on it. We did some steered suspension on it. We did some carbon stuff with it. That was kind of working, but another thing was just some of these cheap aftermarket brands that just come in, and I don't even know how they're making money and staying in business, but they literally are coming in, undercutting the entire market, and just basically just putting things out of business. Yeah, we are. It's unfortunate. What's up? What's up, man? So, I mean, we took the car to Mustang Week. That was, you know, it was the first Roush S650, first customer Roush S650. So that was cool to, you know, kind of be a part of that and getting to meet the Roush people in person and them seeing, you know, the first car in person. It was the only one there. But the car is just not worth. If you're going to keep it locked the way it is, you got to come down on the price. No one wants to pay that much money for a car they can't really mess with. And hopefully, with the way things are going in the political realm, we might get our wish, but I just don't know what kind of damage has already been done. If you're tuned in, appreciate you tuning in. If you got any questions, drop them. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. The GT350, I've got a whole series of like 7 episodes on that currently, so if you haven't seen or got caught up to what's going on with the 350, definitely go check those videos out. I'm not going to answer too many questions on this stream about that car, but it's still here. It's still here, and it's going to be back running one day at a time, guys. Fully invested pushing ahead with the EV. You know, the full EV push, totally dumb move by them. Going with a full EV F-150, a full EV Mustang, absolutely the wrong way to go about it. The hybrid component would be tremendous for both. The power boost F-150, awesome. A little bit overcomplicated. I wish they wouldn't have done it with the EcoBoost only. I wish they would have offered it with the 5-liter V8. Just less complication. Naturally aspirated engine and a hybrid versus turbos and hybrid. Just simplicity is the spice of life. And then the Mustang. This full EV behemoth. Like, get the Mustang label off that car. What they do need to come out with is a hybrid S650. A hybrid S650, if it's tunable, could change a ton. Imagine whether it's all through the rear wheels, or could you imagine rear wheel drive, gas, front wheel drive, similar to what the E-Ray architecture is? That would change so much for the Mustang. And I can't even believe I'm saying that. But when all you can do is put a couple superchargers on it, and that's the only way you can add the power, it's embarrassing. I've done everything I could to try and be, you know, as supportive as I can with the current state of things, but there just comes a time where you just gotta trim the fat. And my 207,000 mile Ford Fusion was not the fat that I chose to trim. Yeah. I don't know, but comment your thoughts, guys. It's definitely an unfortunate time to be, and now that the 2025 is going to have dual processing, so I don't think the 2024s are ever going to be tunable, and same with the 25s, or at least the 24s for sure. No one's going to waste the time trying to crack that just for 1 year to have access to the potential market of the lowest volume selling Mustang in the history of Mustang. The Mustang 2, the ugly, like, probe looking Mustang 2, outsold the almighty S650. I would rather just get another GT350. I would rather get another broken GT350 over another S650. It's that simple. And you think I'm joking, but I'm really not. I mean, I started getting into some sim racing. That's kind of taking my attention. I'd rather drive on a sim racing rig than drive the S650. Oh. Ford is definitely missing the mark. They need to hire. Yeah, something's got to change. What's up, Tim? Thanks for dropping in. I still like Ford. I still like some of the things they got, but they're the Mustang market. They're losing. They're losing us one at a time. Can only put up with it so much. And it all kind of really started with I would say 2020, but that'd be an easy answer because of COVID. It honestly, to me, really started with the 2018 Gen 3. When you got in a GT Premium 2015 to 2017, you got in it, you sat in it, all the touch points, even though everything looks the same, it all felt just so much better. Like the wheel actually felt like a solid leather material, whereas in the Gen 3 S550, it was like a plasticky leather, and from working at the dealership, the wheels would like literally disintegrate and fall apart in a couple of years. It was awful. I don't understand. The 10 speed, I get why Ford did it again. Got to meet the emissions, but you couldn't go from 6 to 8 speeds. You went from 6 to 10. The 10 speed just, for a performance car, the car's too heavy, and the clutches and some of the gear ratios of the 10 speed are really tiny. So you're trying to move all that weight, 4,000 plus pounds. I mean, you get a fully loaded GT Premium, you're talking 4,000 pounds, and then if you had a supercharger on it, 4,200 pounds. No wonder the 10 speed has issues. Fortunately, in the 6,000 miles that I've been supercharged on the S650, I never had any issues with the 10 speed. Rumor was in 2024 they updated the 3 major failure points of the 10 speed. The drum, the CDF drum, the input shaft, and there's one other major thing that they changed. But I didn't have any issues with it. That car put down almost 700 to the wheel on pump 93 with cats. No problem. But I mean, Dodge has an 8-speed, BMW has an 8-speed. Everybody has an 8-speed except Ford and GM. They have this 10-speed abomination. Heck, I would prefer a dual clutch over the 10-speed, honestly. Even if it's untunable, at least it holds 1100 horsepower, at least in the GT500, and that's not a light car. That car is also 4,200 pounds. You put a dual clutch in it, I can justify the current price. That's one thing that I've wanted to do with the GT350 for a long time, is put a dual clutch in it. I'm at the point where the manual, as fun as it is, and I will always enjoy the manual experience, if I want to take that next step lap time wise, dual clutch. And plus just a high revving naturally aspirated engine with a dual clutch in it, it's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty. What else about this thing? Oh, the quality control, the S650 quality control. I've put out a video about it, but it was just from a brand new car having a fender that is a different color slightly off, race red. From the factory, brand new. The panel fitment, the hood, the trunk, the doors. Just, where's the quality control? All of it was just trash. My taillights, 6 months into ownership, both developing stress cracks. What's with that? No, they didn't get hit by anything. I had to go through 3-4 dealers to get those replaced. The first one said that it was due to outside influence. They'd been in an impact, and clearly the car had not been hit. And what are the odds that both taillights developed the same stress crack in the same spot on the same lens? Very low. Went to the second dealership. They said it was due to the aftermarket wing. And I was like, how does a wing cause a taillight to crack? Is it really creating that much downforce? No. So I was like, well, y'all are incompetent. I'll continue searching. And I got a third dealer. No problem to work with me on it. What's up, Connor? S650's gone. This isn't clickbait. It's gone. Still local. It'll be back on the channel. I'll be still doing a lot of work and maintenance on it, I'm sure. But I needed to get that thing needed to go. And then all the technological upgrades with the screens, especially that center one. Not only did you lose all your physical controls for air conditioning, they all went into that center screen. But sometimes you'd get into that and the center screen would take, you're driving down the road, it's been 30 seconds, and now the center screen finally decides to pop up. It just shows the Mustang for like 30 seconds, back and forth. Did I come out all right? I guess. I mean, considering what I'd put into it and what I got for it with 9,000 miles, I would definitely say so. I mean, there's Whipple cars trying to be sold for less, and people can't sell them. Why? I wonder why. But yeah, the screens really irritated me. That center screen either needs to be integrated into the dash so it's not in your line of sight when you're trying to look over kind of across the hood, or something. And the premium, I think to me, it looks even worse. Just too much reflectiveness in the interior. Nobody wants a reflective thing glaring in their face. So I'm really glad that thing's gone. I want my S2000 back, damn it. S2000 would destroy that S650 in the smiles department. Yeah, straight line. S650 might have it, but straight line smiles are for kids. What else was going on with that thing? Oh, the freaking software, randomly doing software updates, can't drive the car. Just, some things are good ideas, but when they're poorly implemented, they look like catastrophic ideas. And I think that's what a lot of the S650 comes down to. I think Ford tried to do way too much with this car. I miss this car. It's been almost 3 months to the day. If you think that car's going anywhere, you'd be wrong. Connor, I've really gotten into this sim racing. I'm not gonna lie, it's been fun. I really want to just get back in there and get back to it, because that is what's keeping me sane while the 350 is down. Not a actual physical 800 horsepower car. Grayson's enjoying it too, so that's a plus as well. Oh, and just annoying little things like doing the oil change on the S650. The S550 had this nice little panel that you could reach up and get you undid one or two bolts, reach up, get the filter, no problem. The S650, there is no no access panel. You have to remove all 27mm screws and five push pin clips to remove the splash shield to get to the oil filter. I don't get it. They went back to a metal oil pan though, but they got rid of the access panel in the cover that let's be real guys, probably could have been reused. Half of it is an S550. So, a little kind of unbelievable. Oh yeah, still plenty of S650 fanboys out there raving about their S650. Again, that's the good thing about not being bought and paid for, and not being I'm not a YouTuber in the sense of I'm gonna just spout and tout something just because I got a good deal on it. No, I'm gonna tell you exactly how it is, and that's how it'll always be. Haven't been on the sim this weekend, but yeah, it's the cheapest, closest thing to real track day. Yeah, Grayson getting on there definitely just makes it that much easier. We went go-karting yesterday, and I was there we did unlimited go-karting at Bushnell. Whew, my hands are still feeling it from yesterday. I did about like 20 to 25 races for for $200. So about $10 a race, if that. And he was there with me the whole day. And there were a couple times where I was like, "Hey, you want to go home now? We've been here for 4 or 5 hours." "No, I want to still keep watching you." And he's awesome. I can't wait for him to be big enough to actually drive a go-kart himself. I may regret that financially, but for now, the sim racing will do for him. It's cool watching him get on with it. What else is going on? I think that's just about it. This was kind of heavy on the main point was why we sold the S650 and all that kind of stuff, and I feel like it's 100% justified. If you are someone who likes the S650, I don't say you're wrong. Everyone likes what they like, but I would say don't pay the upcharge for the dark horse. If you want to go on the, especially if you're not going to track the car, if you're just going to get the dark horse to say you have a dark horse, it's like buying a diesel truck when you're towing a jet ski. You're completely missing the mark, paying way too much for what you're trying to do. Unless you just have that much disposable income that you can just say screw it. But if you have that much money to get a dark horse, get a GT350. Get a car that's going to put a smile on your face every time you drive it. And it's cheaper. It makes more power. It's tunable. It looks better. It sounds better. What does a dark horse have? A warranty? Warranty is for peasants. And unless you're a communist peasant living in the USSR, or not an actual enthusiast, if you're an actual enthusiast, you know which car you're going to get. It's pretty simple. Yeah, sharing the experiences with the kids, it's just something that you'll remember forever. Yeah, FOMO struck hard with the S650, and now there's just, if you look online, there's like the main like S650 guys that were out there, they have no more content coming out with the car. They've run out already. They get the car, they immediately put the Whipple on it, and now it's crickets. You don't ever see them driving the car either. It's just, oh, I did a draggy. Oh, I went to the track. You don't ever see them driving the car and smiling. At least I had a couple videos of me smiling with the Roush. I'm not saying I regret getting the S650, but on my list of cars, fun cars that I've owned, GT350, S2000, 350Z, S650. That's the order I'd put them in. S650 is trying too much to be a two-door, almost like a two-door Cadillac. Mustang people, they don't want a two-door Cadillac. If they wanted a Cadillac, they'd go get a Cadillac. Because I will tell you, the CT5E Blackwing, it's expensive, but it's tunable. It's a badass car. Like, if and when this Ford Fusion ever dies, and I want a fun four-door fast car, it's going to be a G80 BMW M3 or a CT5E Blackwing. Yeah, the firm, it's still the legal thing is still going on. So as of now, we still can't run the full layout. My next event's coming up in a couple weeks. So we might end up just running the track backwards for once, but obviously just half of it. A lot of cool things happened over the last couple months. I met a guy who bought a IMSA M4 GT4 car, and he's going to be renting that out to people at my events and then other tracks like Sebring. That's been really fun. Really cool to meet him. Oh. VPG Sim, guys. All right, so going to the Rolex 24, Mustang GT3 winning, getting to speak to the drivers, specifically Dennis Olsen, one of the drivers of the winning 65 car from Daytona. He partners up with a sim manufacturer brand called VPG Sims. They're in the UK. Following up, speaking with him again in Sebring, he let me know. In Daytona, they announced the Mustang GT3 sim racing steering wheel. It is literally the exact carbon copy of the actual Mustang GT3 sim wheel. However, it's overworked for sim racing. It's an exact carbon copy. Well, he let me know that VPG Sims is going to be coming out with a Mustang GT3 Rolex 24 Winners Edition, signed by Dennis. It's going to be limited production. It hasn't been physically announced yet. I'm allowed to share it. I put a deposit down on one. It costs, I want to say my deposit was like $1,000, and it's going to cost about $2,200 to $2,400 shipped, but a limited run of 25 to 30 or maybe 50. So if anybody wants a Mustang GT3 sim wheel, whether it's the signed one or not, the signed one won't be coming out till May, but you can get a Mustang GT3 sim racing wheel from VPG Sims from the UK. Right now, you can just Google VPG Sims Mustang GT3 wheel, and you can use a code TDM GT3, and you're going to save like 5 or 10% off the wheel, which is over $100. So it looks incredible. He had one at Daytona. It looked like the actual GT3 wheel. It felt like the actual GT3 wheel. I'm super excited for that. It's going to be a while before I get it, but I can't wait to get it. That's going to look awesome. It's going to be too nice to where I'm not going to want to use it. It's just going to be a wall ornament. But either way, and then I can take it to, maybe I can take it to Atlanta and have the other two drivers that won Daytona with him sign it there. That would be awesome. Let's see what else here. There's a FP350S on the market for $90K. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I really want a lightning blue or a Kona blue 350R though. Yeah, and they totally could do it. You know they could if they're coming out with stupid things like Mustang Mach-E's, you know they can come out with some badass stuff. But unfortunately, there's no competition, so they don't have to. Even though it could change a lot of things for them. The GT3 sim wheel you saw before, I'm pretty sure it was then. Because I don't know of anybody else that has come out with a GT3 sim wheel. It is literally a spitting eye replica of the actual GT3 car wheel. It's probably them. But what else? So, Connor, you're not on iRacing, are you? If I remember right, we spoke about this already. Just refresh my memory. I don't remember exactly, but if you are on iRacing, we need to get you added to the Cars and Canards League. We haven't done our first event yet, but once we get to 10, we'll do our first event. And it'll be just I don't know, like oh, you're on it? Okay. Dude, DM me your iRacing name, and I will go add you and invite you to the league. And once we get to 10, we'll have like a 40-minute race at like Sebring or something in GT3 cars or something. That'd be fun. Yeah, dude. Especially since you're so far away, it's like that's the only kind of way we could really regularly have like track time, essentially. Probably gonna cut the stream here, guys. Try to keep it rolling. Pretty much hit all the things I wanted to talk about, and then some. I've got some S650 parts if anybody wants them. I've got a Gen 4 Coyote engine cover. What else? I've got some high flow filters. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And hopefully it's not as dictatorship as some of the ones that are down here in Florida, where they don't do like public open track days. It's all private for the garage condo owners. And then when they do open up for a public day, it's like half a day, and it's like $700. You have a 350R splitter, or you have the base 350 splitter? Because I have that Archetype Racing splitter that goes with base GT350 splitters, and we'll definitely coordinate a way to make that happen. So obviously, with the 350R splitter, it does no use for me, and putting that on, I would say it's a little bit deeper than the GT350R splitter. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I got the Archetype Racing splitter new. I have an AR. It's got the delignant underneath. New support rods, new hardware. I want to say those things were like $2,400 brand new, and now you can't even get them anymore. So I don't even know what. I was asking like $1,000 for it, plus shipping. I thought that was fair, but I haven't really been trying to sell it. It's just been kind of sitting there. Yeah, it is the one that Dan had. It got sold to somebody else who bought it. His engine blew, and he sold the car. So now I have it. Yep, it's Dan. And I got it. This car's got so many pieces on it from other cars. It's kind of like a memorial as well. It's got parts from Dan's car. It's got parts from my friend Nick's car. It's got parts from my friend Lewis's car. It's got parts from Courtney's car. Hello, hello. Yeah, honestly, they're on Facebook. If you, I don't know if you can like go to my profile and look up things that I specifically have listed on Marketplace, but the 4 photos I have, they're lost in my phone somewhere. But I know that it's posted. If you can't find it, I'll go through there and get them. But I mean, it's in, obviously it's used, it's in good shape, but am I selling? No, it's already sold. It is gone. It's been something that's been in the works for a while. I pretty much knew I wanted to sell it before I got the Roush back in June, but getting the Roush made me hold on to it a little longer. But no, I knew I was gonna sell it. It's not an enthusiast car. It's a raw car. It's a overhyped car. But yeah, it's gone. Got picked up this morning. I kind of hit that on that earlier in this video. I don't think anybody's going to go through the amount of trouble and time it's going to take to achieve that just to get access to the 2024 market alone, because 2025 is getting a completely different ECU. It's getting a dual processor ECU. So to get access to the 24s is only going to get you access to the people that bought the 2024 Mustangs, which is already the lowest selling Mustang in the history of Mustang. And then on top of that, how many of them are going to want custom tuning? Even if it's half, which I don't really think half are people that do that. Who knows? I may be totally off there. The people that bought the S650 are a very different type of person than who bought like an S550 or so. Jesus, holy crap. I mean, let's see. A lot of stuff I helped work with and design and fit and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't, but the retail price of everything that I had into that car, I would say in the year and a half that I've owned it, the retail price of everything, and also like not paying for labor on most stuff because I'm doing everything myself, I definitely would have had 20 into it, 20 to 25, but I realistically only had about probably 13 to 14 into it. And the car was 41, brand new. So that puts me about 55. So really what I sold it for, I didn't lose out much at all. And that's nothing. People wanted the Roush. I had, there's cars with Whipples out there that they can't sell them. Nobody wants the Whipple. The only people that want the Whipple is that like clique, if you will. I had people asking me, I want your car, it has the Roush. And I was like, it's already spoken for. If it falls through, I'll follow up with you. But Whipple cars are struggling to sell. Literally sold my S650 the moment I put it up. Got your iRacing name, Connor. I'll be adding you shortly after this stream, probably. Maybe we'll get on and mess around. What did I get for it? I'll make a separate video kind of going over what I got for it, because just to give it its own talking point. I want to, continue to make some content, whether there's a few more things I want to go over, but I also want to wait till everything is like the bill of sales, all signed, everything, but it hasn't been, turned into the DMV. I want everything to be like legally done before, I go and put all that information out there, because I'm sure it'll go both ways. There'll be people telling him that he paid too much. There's gonna be people saying that he didn't, that I didn't sell it for enough. So I'd rather just wait till everything's done and then go from there. I already told him what to expect. You're buying not only a Roush car, you're buying my Roush car, which is kind of infamous out there. I'm literally living rent-free in a lot of the Whipple kids' minds right now. I have some friends that kind of cue me in on everything that's being said, and it's absolutely hilarious, guys. I'm not even a drag racer, and I'm literally living in their mind. Yeah, see, I had mixed feelings about the dual intake. I really just didn't understand how it, or like what it was accomplishing. A dual intake would be cool if it was completely separate banks and they never, mixed. Like my 350Z, my 2008 350Z had 2 intakes. It didn't share a plenum. They were their own separate, basically one throttle body goes into 3 cylinders, one throttle body went into 3 cylinders. There was no like mixing. And then they're both going into like virtually the same part. And after speaking to some of the engineers, it was really just for high RPM airflow. But there's got to be a better, like, less awkward looking way of doing it. Now, also doing it the way they did it, they probably didn't have to remold. They didn't have to remold an entire intake. Yeah, I saw your email. Yeah, I really think yours is either installed improperly, either you've got a supply hose that's fighting a hose that's supposed to be a return. I don't know how it's all routed for you specifically, but you're having a lot of issues. I've literally had 0 issues with the Roush kit since I've installed it. It's never blown coolant out of the cap. It's never overheated. It's never had really bad heat soak. It's never overflowed. You're having a lot of issues, so it really leads me to believe that there's some sort of install error going on. I mean, when you took the lid off when they took the lid off to bolt the lower part of the blower down, there's a gasket that goes around there, and on the inside around the charge air coolers. If that gasket got dislodged and got rolled, really just sounds like you're getting pressure into the system from the supercharger, honestly. So taking the lid off is not that hard. It's just the bolts around the outside. At least that's something, I don't know how mechanically inclined you are, but that's something you could easily do yourself, just to see. And if you take that off and you see the gasket is pinched, rolled, deformed, then there's your issue right there. I'm sorry you're having all those problems with it. The kit's pretty tried and true, because it is essentially the same supercharger that VMP labeled as the Odin and the Gen 3. It's essentially the same kit, just painted differently with a different badge on it. So those superchargers have always run really good, and they don't have a lot of issues. So when I see issues, isolated incidents, it always leads back to, it's usually installer error or something along those lines. It's hardly ever the hardware in the kit. Now, another thing is how do they wire your intercooler pump? When you pop the cap and you just turn the key on, is the intercooler running? Is the intercooler pump running? And also when the car is on, just idling, is the intercooler pump running? I wonder if they tied it into the same or the correct spot and then put the relay in correctly. All right, saying a lot of yeses. Yeah, I'm just trying to go over everything, man. There's outside of that, I'm out of ideas. So it's gotta be the gasket inside the supercharger is letting boost pressure into the system, or the hoses are routed wrong. Definitely keep me in the loop. I'm definitely interested to know what you find, but based on everything we've discussed, I think that it's got to be one of those two things. And you know, if I still had my car right now, I would pop the hood on it to show you how I have my hoses routed. Oh yeah, if you don't have the reservoir sitting high enough. What's up, David? David who? I know a few Davids, and I don't remember that name off the top of my head. I apologize. It's probably somebody that I talk to all the time. David who? Yeah, dude, honestly, get a Gen 2. You don't have to deal with the direct injection. Anyone that says the direct injection helps make more power is wrong. The direct injection is literally in there for cold start emissions. That is it. Oh, you still got your GT350? That's the David I'm talking about. Oh, maybe a different David then. LS, no. LS, no. The amount of work you have to do in an LS to make 500 horsepower or 700 horsepower is ridiculous. I don't care the cost of it. No. Matt, we're not putting an LS in anything. No. You know how much faster your Miata would be with a Coyote in it? Way faster. You know how much you'd have to change the engine to make 1,000 horsepower? Tune, boost, and fuel. No cams, no pistons, no rods. You can make 1,000 crank horsepower on a stock Coyote. Reported channel to police? For what? Speeding, hate crime. Oh. You gonna get 1320 Didios on my ass? Those guys are clowns. Why would you LS a 350 when you're going to dump more money for it to make 500 wheel? Yeah, I don't know. I make 500 wheel in the GT350 naturally aspirated with just E85 and a tune. For how long? For how long? But still, that's a lot of work. A Coyote. I bet you a sleeve Coyote could make 1,200. No problem. Plus, it's just more efficient. Too wide. If they can fit a Coyote in a Corvette. Yeah, see, there it is. He'd have one. See, everybody knows that Coyote is the future as far as like drag stuff. Stock strut towers for your glass. Yeah. I get it. I get it. I've had my Roush Supercharger on my 2024 Dark Horse with 0 issue. Car runs awesome, and it made 707 the wheel on the. Yeah, mine made about 700 as well. Non-Dark Horse. It's just so vanilla. The only update on the GTD is when I was going to get my allocation, which is until February next year. I'm pretty much not expecting anything until that time. There's no license plate numbers in that photo, is there? But yeah, if your car was heat soaking because the boost is bleeding into the intercooling system, of course you'd lose. Revit, you have a Dark Horse. Why'd you get the Dark Horse? What'd you have before that? And we'll end it with that. If he responds. Everyone knows how much I don't like the S650 Mach 1, right? If you've been a long-time follower on social media, you know I don't like the S650 Mach 1. I would rather have the Mach 1 than the Dark Horse. Oof. Oof. Midlife crisis? You already had the perfect garage. Ugh. Oh, if you still have all, I mean, absolutely, but whew, had me worried there for a second. I mean, Josh, for the price you're paying for an S650, it kind of is like a midlife crisis thing now. I mean, a performance pack GT is as much as a GT 350 was. And there is no day of the year where those two cars are equal. All right, we're coming up an hour. We're gonna cut it here. I have a lot I want to get done. Connor, be looking for that invite. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. Had some surprise guests I wasn't expecting, but it's always a good time. I'm sure a lot of people will go back and rewatch that stream, especially for the beginning part. But it's gone. We're on to bigger and better things. I enjoyed the Roush while I had it, but I'm definitely looking forward to what's going to happen next. See y'all later.